All right, so I guess we're kind of raw dogging it today. How does this not have a battery on it? Yeah, it does have a battery. Hey everyone, welcome back. And so we are currently full self-driving to go pick up my dog. Didn't turn the camera on this morning, so I had to redo it. So we are seeing a lot of different incentives, I would say, and we had the earnings call this week, so we got a lot to talk about. So one of the big things that I want to talk about is the earnings call. Elon came out and said all Hardware 3 owners will be upgraded to Hardware 4 as long as you bought full self-driving, you own the car, and you're ready for it. So there's a couple of different options that you have. So you have the opportunity to upgrade your Hardware 3 car to Hardware 4, which not the worst thing in the world. And then you also have the ability to possibly be able to buy a Hardware 4 car for a discount, which I think is great because that just gives you the opportunity to actually get a brand new car. I don't think you're going to be able to transfer full self-driving. None of the stuff that I've seen says that you can. So to me, that kind of just takes that incentive away a little bit, just because it's like you can't upgrade your car. Well, I'm sorry, you can upgrade your car, but you can't keep the full self-driving package, which to me is kind of important. But especially if they keep increasing prices. So we haven't seen an increase in price yet on full self-driving. It's still at $99 a month. And we're not really, I don't think we're really going to see that big of a difference just yet, which I think is interesting. But there is that potential. So it's, hey, you could potentially have to pay more money, or you can still just kind of risk it. So it's a lot of different things that go into it, at least in my perspective. Oh, wow, we're being a big old butthole. All right, let's go. I had to force it on that one. But, yeah, so it's just, I don't know. I want to own full self-driving because I think that owning something is better than leasing something. And I mean, I could just be completely wrong, because then you can't really upgrade to the new stuff all the time without having to spend extra money. So I guess there is that aspect of it. Going to the Cybertruck saga. So I am not going to buy a Cybertruck yet. I'm going to preface that with yet. I want to see how the full self-driving car upgrade is going to go from a Hardware 3 to a Hardware 4. Looking at the numbers, I think there was about 1.3 million cars that are currently actively subscribed to full self-driving, which is great. We don't really know how many of those are Hardware 3 cars. I know I'm one of them, which is great. However, I am curious to see how many other people have that. So I'm going to keep my Model X Plaid for now, go through that entire upgrade process, unless it's like 30, yeah, let's just say 2030, because it's 2026 now, so 4 years from now. Or a better opportunity arises, like being able to transfer my full self-driving over to a brand new Cybertruck. Again, that'd be really cool. That's what I kind of hope I want to see. I like my Model X a lot. However, the Cybertruck is, I'm not going to say my dream car necessarily, but it's pretty close. That just gives you a little bit more flexibility with all the kids I got and everything like that. So, and we don't want to be a butthole, so we are going to take it back, and we're going to stay in the right lane, which is where you're supposed to be inside this. I don't know why, but it always wants to go to the left lane. Yeah, so that's fun. Yeah, so I'm excited to see that. I really would like a Cyberbeast, and they are just very overpriced right now. They're going for like $90,000 right now, which is crazy. Because you can get a new one, a 2025, for like $95,000. So I see it holding its value, which is great, and I'm glad that it's holding its value, because I really thought it was going to tank, similar to like how my Model X is only worth $50,000, even though it was $140 brand new. But at the same time, I'm very surprised, and I can't tell if it's like because it's that cool of a truck, or is it the metal, or is it the technology, the forward-facing camera, the Hardware 4? Like, I can't tell, and it's very difficult. And I understand, like, the brand new Foundation series was $100,000, and now we're seeing those trucks around 75 to like 80,000, somewhere around there. But again, it makes it very difficult to justify buying a brand new one right now, especially with those being around the same price. And I don't know. It's one of the few things I think about, because yes, it holds its value, and I think I was looking at one that was going to be like 75.5, and the trade-in was going to be like 69 if I was to like resell it immediately. So it's only a $6,000 depreciation, which isn't even 10%. And I was like, man, that's pretty good for depreciation, because you normally see a car drop like 60% in like 2 years, and this was a 2024. So I was very surprised to see that it was still hanging around there at that good number. Some other incentives that we're kind of seeing, we're still seeing that 0%, 0% for that rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive base Model Y, and then 0.99% for everything except for the performance, which is going to be 5.09%, which I think is fine. Model 3, we're still seeing that 0.99 for everything but the standard. And I really think even like the Model 3 performance is honestly going to be your best bang for your buck on that sense, because you're getting all the performance, you're getting the new technology, you're getting free lifetime connectivity, and you're not going to spend arm and leg for it. You're basically paying almost no interest, which is great. So I guess there's that. Going back to the earnings call, we're seeing Tesla really start ramping down the production of Model S and X. They're saying beginning of May, they're going to get rid of all production of that. So I would anticipate like another wave, maybe 2 max of new Model S and X's coming into Mohegan Sun to take delivery on, which I think is good. But we are going to see a lot of cars not, like, you're not gonna be able to buy anymore. And I think the Plaids are honestly all done. I don't know. I'm a little sad to see those 2 cars go, because I do like my Model X a lot. I do wish I would have got the 2026 with the Lux package with the front-facing camera and all the cool features that it could have had and all this other stuff. But at the same time, I'm pretty content with what I have. The seats, cooling is great. FSD, I will say, we have gotten the spring update. We got all the cool stuff with it, and it feels much smoother. And I know it's still 12.6.4, but at the same time, like, I don't know, it's very much smoother in my opinion. I went around a roundabout this morning, and before I used to like jerk, and now it's like, all right, let's get in the roundabout and get around it, which I thought was great. Still a little hesitant, as we saw earlier at the light. I don't think it really knew it could turn right necessarily, because it did have that light there that's flashing for the walk sign. But overall, I've been pretty impressed with it, because it's really getting me in, getting me out, and then I haven't really had to intervene that much. It does get confused in a couple streets, but for the most part, it's great. And it would have just tried to cut everybody off, and I didn't want to be that guy. So I guess there is that aspect to it. What's the other part? As for performance aspect, I'm sad to see the 1,000 horsepower go overall, and I am curious to think that Tesla will get rid of the tri-motor Cybertruck. I don't think that the Cyberbeast is selling nearly as much as they thought it would. And I know that all the other vehicles have, performance trims and everything like that, but I just don't think they're selling enough of them. I think the all-wheel drive is honestly where a lot of people want to be at. And putting in that third motor, now that they're not doing that with the S and X, I just don't think it's going to last as long necessarily. And I know Rivian is doing quad motor and all this other stuff, but even they're not selling that many cars. I mean, if the Cybertruck outsold the Rivian, what does that really say about Rivian overall, I guess? And I like Rivian a lot. I do like the look of the truck. I think it's nice. It's small. It's a 5.5 foot bed compared to a 6 foot bed. The bench seat in the second row isn't that big. You can't fit 3 car seats. There's only 2 lower latches on it, and it's good, don't get me wrong, but it's just not where I want it to be for a truck. And I think that's one of the big deterrent factors for me, because it just doesn't make sense. And then also for the R1S, I like the R1S a lot. However, I think I'm ending my SUV era, if that makes sense. Like, I don't really want to be in an SUV anymore. I've been in an SUV for years and years, and probably since 2021. And I think I'm ready to get back to like a sedan, a sportier car, or a big old truck, kind of like a Cybertruck. So for me, it just that's where the Cybertruck really fits in. Still have my order in for the all-wheel drive base model, so we'll see how that goes. If the value of my car goes up enough in order to make it make sense, then I'll probably do that, just to get out of my SUV part of it. But I will miss it a lot. I still wish that my wife would trade in the minivan. I think that'd be great, because then we can have an SUV that has 1,000 horsepower and a truck for utility, and it's all electric, and we're not paying. How much is gas? I'm passing a gas station right now. It is $4.25 for basic, and it is fucking $5.09 for premium gas. That is insane to me. Like, what the heck is going on, dude? I thought gas was supposed to be going down. $4.25 for regular gas and $5.09 for premium. That is crazy. And diesel's like $6. Oh my goodness. Well, good thing I don't have to worry about that, but that's insane. Like, I was looking at how much money I spend on gas and everything, or on electricity for this car, and it's not as bad as you would think it is. I mean, at 30 cents a kilowatt hour, even if I go from 100 to 0 every single day, it's only $30 to fill up, and I'm still getting 300 miles of range. And our minivan gets about 300 miles of range at 18 miles per gallon, and it is way more expensive to fill up. It's like 60, $70 going from 0 to 100. So I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's like, is it really worth having a gas car anymore? Does it even make sense? Like, I don't know, man. It's just so expensive, and the price of electricity is pretty consistent now. So I don't know. It's just one of the few things that I'm thinking about. I did kind of look at the new Hummer EV a little bit. I like that a lot. However, it's kind of the same situation. Kind of a small second row, I think. I don't know. It looks big, but it's deceivingly small, in my opinion. So I guess there's that. I wish it was a little bit bigger, I guess. And I wish that it was a little smarter technology-wise. I mean, Apple CarPlay is fine, but to me, it's just a little laggy and a little slow. So let me know what you think down below. Which one do you like the most? Do you like Tesla, or do you prefer like something different other than Apple CarPlay? Lucid, I haven't really seen that many Lucids. I know Lucid Gravity's out, which is interesting, and they keep trying to try to sell that. But I have not seen a single Lucid Gravity in the wild at all. And even like the Lucid Air, you don't even really see, or the Sapphire or anything like that. Like, there's just none around. And I'm starting to see more Model X's, which is nice. I'm starting to see more Model S's, which is nice, especially in Connecticut. But there's like nothing else. Like, there's really not a lot of other electric cars. A couple Hyundais here and there, but for the most part, it's like Tesla Model Y, Tesla Model 3, and then everything else. I have been starting to see a little bit more Cybertrucks. I think I've seen like 3 or 4 in the area, which is interesting to see. Makes me wonder if it's actually like a demo drive, or if it's actually someone that owns one. It's very difficult for me to tell, at least at a quick glance. I know I still want a Cybertruck. I think that there's still the most capable truck out there. And people are like, it's not a truck. Well, it is a truck, though. It's got a bed. It's got everything you could possibly need. You can power tools. You can power your house. It's got 4 doors, big old steel. Very capable, in my opinion. I don't know what would make it not a truck, if that makes sense. I think people are just being stupid and being a little bit biased, but that's just my personal opinion on it. Yeah, and I don't know if I can go back to a regular car that doesn't have full self-driving. I haven't really had to put my hands on the wheel since I did that one intervention. And like, it's great. It takes me on the highway, takes me to pick up my dog. I don't know. I like full self-driving a lot, and maybe I should just do one to where it's just me doing full self-driving on hardware 3. And also, speaking of hardware 3, we are going to see version 14 Lite at the end of June, so we got about 2 more months of this version 12 before we actually hit version 14 Lite, assuming that it comes on time. And I'm excited to see version 14 or at least version 14 Lite, because I've driven version 14 before, and I think it's significantly smoother. I think the issue that they're going to run into is being able to work with the cameras. And I know that they got to do what they got to do, and they're going to validate as much as they can. But it's just, I don't know. I don't know how much better we can get from here with the technology that we currently have. And I don't know. It just makes it really hard. I'm hoping that it gets better overall. I mean, we are seeing improvements with the latest updates. But again, there's still a lot of stuff to work through compared to version 14 regular. And there are some things about version 13 that I like. I like being able to adjust my speed like to the actual mile per hour, compared to where it's like you have sloth, slow, medium, whatever, hurry, and then Mad Max. I like being able to control my speed a little bit better, because it just, a definitive number. It's not like a guesstimation of like, oh, I think it's about 10 or 12 miles an hour over the speed limit, something like that. It's just more like, hey, this is exactly what my speed's going to be. This is way it is that way, and going forward with it. So anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. If you know you're looking for a brand new Tesla, please use that referral link to book your demo drive, and that'll give you visibility to seeing that you're interested in a Tesla. And then also too, if you go to buy a brand new Tesla, looking for a Model 3, Y, or Cybertruck, you're going to get 3 months of full self-driving with that referral link, and that's going to save you, $200 overall. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.